Good morning. Yeah, it's still good morning, guys. To those of you who are watching in this afternoon, good afternoon. I actually kind of went back on what I was going to talk about during this live, because I caught myself feeling anxious about some things. And there were things that I have been depressed about before. So, just as a lot of us know that multiple sclerosis, one of the symptoms with multiple sclerosis is depression. I mean, I could have figured that out. And I think anybody who has MS probably could say the same thing. Of course, you're going to be depressed. Your whole life has changed, right? Mobility issues, all the other symptoms that come along, fatigue, therefore you're not getting things done as you maybe were getting things done before. Good morning, Anthony. And sometimes depression feels like it should be an obvious, right? Feels like, of course I'm depressed. But I started to question myself, because depression is when you think of those things that happened in the past, things that you can no longer do anything about. And it gives you this feeling of overwhelm, or you have heartache about the things you did not do in the past, or things that you sometimes feel you should have been able to handle better. And then you're thinking, can I change this? Can I do anything to make it different? And the truth of the matter is, you can't, right? It's in the past. We can't change things that have happened in the past. With multiple sclerosis, I believe the depression that comes with that is the loss of quote unquote normalcy, the loss of doing things that you want to do or how you want things to be. Let me throw a little transparency in this. I was I felt depression. I felt depressed about some things yesterday. So I'm in Indianapolis right now, and I was born and raised in Indiana. Indianapolis was where I wanted to end up. I actually lived in Indianapolis for a while before my parents kidnapped me and took me to Charleston, South Carolina. Not a true story. They didn't kidnap me, but they were worried about their daughter who had multiple sclerosis, and she lived on her own, and they were not certain that I was going to be able to take care of myself. So I got to a time where I was sitting in this condo that I had purchased when I wasn't having certain symptoms. And it was a condo with stairs. And I ended up having to be downstairs in a wheelchair at times. Now, looking back, I realized that a lot of my symptoms were exacerbated by the medicine that I took. And when I say the medicine that I took, we're talking Avonex back then. And that Avonex was new to multiple sclerosis, just as multiple sclerosis was new to a lot of doctors. So that's what I started taking. And I ended up sitting downstairs in my wheelchair most of the time. And of course, I was depressed. But as I look back at that time, and I'm like, why didn't I stay? Because right now I'm in the city. I'm like, oh, it's flourishing. So much is going on. Why didn't I just stay? Why didn't I tell my parents, look, it's bad right now, but it won't be bad always? Why didn't I try to make it? And then I questioned whether or not I could have. And when I question whether or not I could have, I look back and think, maybe there were things that I should have done. This is where the depression starts setting in, because I was thinking about past things. I can't change those things. I can't do anything about it now. But Indianapolis is still here. So the question is, do I want to put myself back in this place that I seemingly miss because I was not able to do what I thought I should have been able to do? Multiple sclerosis came along, took over a lot, and I lost what I felt I should have been able to accomplish. So now we're here. And I'm looking at the city and I'm thinking, oh gosh, it's so cool. It would be nice to be somewhere where things are exciting and new. It would be a new city to me because Indianapolis is not what it was 20 years ago. And would I be able to make it? That gives me anxiety. The anxiety comes in when I'm thinking about things in the future, things once again that I have no control over. I'm thinking about, but what if I end up in a place that, and I'm speaking of in a place that I'm living. What if I end up in a place that I'm living? And I see you there, Anthony. I'm not sure the bot. Oh, you're in Ohio. Okay. Okay. And somebody said, hi, Marcellus. Hello. You're tuning in from Detroit. Look at all these people, Midwest. We have Michigan, we have Ohio, we have Indiana here. But I wonder sometimes, will I be able to make it? Would I be able to make it in Indianapolis now? And I get anxious about that. So is it the MS or is it the thinking about the future? Thinking about the future and thinking of things that might happen. I don't have any control over that now. I have absolutely no control over that. So do I take the chance? And that is where the MS kind of depresses me. Because I think, oh, what if I fall? I had a stumble yesterday and I had to hold on to my boyfriend. Actually, I stumbled into him and grabbed him. It probably would have been worse if he wasn't there because I wouldn't have caught anyone. And let's be honest, I was walking around the circle. I believe I tripped a good 3 times, and that might be me being very nice. My mobility depresses me because I used to be able to do so many things. I used to be able to run. I used to be able to go to places that I may not be able to go anymore. But my anxiety comes in because I'm actually thinking, what if I fall and no one's here to catch me? I mean, truth is, I get up. I've had falls before. I'm here. I get up. But just the idea of having to go through what I went through 20 years ago and possibly failing again, not that it's a failure when your parents come in and are trying to help you because they see their child is sick and they want to take care of them. But on my end, it feels like a failure because I was not able to do everything that I thought I would be able to do. Live on my own, pay my own bills in my own way, be in a high-rise apartment. Would I want to do that again? So we have to question ourselves sometimes. Is it always the MS? Or is it just regular, good old fashioned depression, regular, good old fashioned anxiety? Sometimes I'm just not willing to give the MS that much power. It's not always it. It's not always me having the multiple sclerosis that's causing my depression. It's me thinking back about things that I have no control over. I can't change those things. And I'm in my head wanting to change it. Is it the MS that's causing the anxiety? No, it's me thinking far in advance, far into the future. But what if? But what if? But what if? You can't do anything with what if. I can't do anything with what if. But what I can do is be present in the moment. Be present in the moment and live. And I see Anthony says, I used to ride my bike all over. And oh, you say get a life alert. I've actually thought about that. I have thought about that. Maybe I need to stop thinking about it and just do it. Because you're right. What if I fall? Again, you get back up. But what if it's something that I need someone to help me? And to be totally honest, I got an Apple Watch. I got the wrong one, so I returned it. But Apple has something where if you fall, the watch will ask you, I detected a fall, are you okay? And it will get in touch with someone as well. So there are things that are out there that can assist us and help us be able to live independently. I like that, the life alert. And to be honest, I stopped there for a second because I was like, this is the same thing I tell my mother she needs. Again, something that I don't need to be thinking about because it makes me compare myself to my mother who is 72. And I'm sitting here in my 40s thinking I shouldn't need that, but it would help. And that's the only thing that matters. So when you think of depression and you think of anxiety, I just want you to take a moment and ask yourself, is it really the depression? Is it really the MS that is causing all of that? Or is it the things in life that come along anyway that is causing that? Because MS, I think sometimes we give it too much power. So take it back and think through that depression or that anxiety that you're feeling. And if it's not that, if it's not the MS, don't give it any power. And I do see, I see you here, and you said you had to remind yourself this week that regardless of feeling out of control, I choose to wake up and live. Don't we? We so do that. We choose to get up and live. And every day we're getting up living with this multiple sclerosis, and it is hard. But we have to at least give ourselves credit for being as strong as we are. There are so many invisible symptoms that people don't see us dealing with. And we get through the day anyway. The next day comes along and we wake up and start it all over again. Remember how strong you are. Don't let MS take your power. I so enjoy talking to you guys. I could go on forever, but Mr. Man's sitting over here. He would let me go on forever, but it's time to give Indianapolis at least 2 more days of my attention so I can go through. Boy, it's a beautiful, great city. I can always come back and visit, and I will. So, oh, you've been on Okra Fest 2 times a year and don't, oh, I know some of the spelling of these things. I've been on Thai Saber. I've been on Thai Saber probably now 2 years. I got off and started Copaxone, but I did not stay with that. And I started Rebif as well. So now I'm on Ty-Saber. My doctor says it's better for me to get that into my system once a month. I thought about taking pills, and he said pills wouldn't be good for me, but that the infusion would be better. And actually, we might have to talk about this medicine because I actually feel like I need it about 2 weeks into the month. After 2 weeks into the month, I could feel the fatigue coming back. I can feel that I'm stumbling more. Whereas the first 2 weeks, I'm on it, it's still in my system, I'm good to go. And I'm not sure I'm willing to give up 2 weeks of the month staying on the Ty-Saber. And I'm not saying that it does that same thing for everybody, but for me, I really need to question whether or not I want to lose 14 days out of the month because the fatigue has gotten to be more, or I'm falling more, or my hands are shaking more. So it is something to think about, but I have heard about the Ocrevus. I think that's how you pronounce it, right? And oh, Ree, you've been on, okay, you've been on Ty-Saber almost a year. Yeah, right now I feel like I'm going to stick with it because I've been on it so long. But then again, those 14 days, does it do that to you? Do you feel like you get tired? Normally, I'm 2.5 weeks in. Okay. The third week is struggling. Okay, so I'm not imagining it. Thank you for saying that because sometimes I wonder if it's just me. But okay, I see. So some things I might have to talk to the doctor about. And to be honest, I just went to the doctor and I'm thinking about getting a brace for my drop foot. I just went into the doctor, and when he said, "Okay, schedule for next time, 6 months out," and I went out there, and she was like, "He is not 6 months out. He is 9 months out." And I was like, "Do you guys struggle getting into your doctor, into your neurologist, because it's a thing?" Now that is something to feel anxious about. So I am going to jump up here. I enjoyed talking to you guys. I will be back tomorrow, and maybe I'll go with what I have on my schedule to talk about. But anxiety and depression, make sure that MS is not taking your power. Talk to you soon.